The 80th to 90th got this amount. The 90th to 95th. The top 5% got almost 3/4 of all the wealth that was generated. Y'all right? It's like they're up here, and you think like, oh yeah, all these bankers and the CEOs and the politicians and whoever it is, all this wealth is being generated, and it's all being passed around because, when they make laws, people in Washington, right? Certainly when they make laws, they're going to make sure that they make laws so that everybody benefits and that sort of thing, right? Well, they do make laws. And all these people benefited, but for a long period of time, all that wealth, they actually lost money. And they got, look at here, man. Oh my God. Right, you got that, right? That is an immense amount of money. Okay. But the American people, they finally get wise to these power-hungry, wealth-hungry people, and they elected Barack Obama, who is this guy who's coming in on change, and he's half black, half white. So here, Fox News, he's a communist to Fox News. And communists like Jesus Christ, they want to redistribute all the money to everybody, right? Jesus was a communist, by the way, right? Christians. It doesn't take a lot of intellect to read the New Testament and see that Jesus was a communist. They just want to point that out to you, but neither here nor there. All right, next thing. He had long hair too, so whatever. Damn hippies. All right, so during the Bush years, the wealthiest 1% of Americans received 65% of the income gains that occurred between 2000 and 2008, okay? Wealthiest 1%, 65, man. So go back in time. So that means in the Bush years, right? So that means starting not in 1983, but the tail end of this, it was even worse, right? It was even worse. Okay, go forward. So during the first 5 years of Barack Obama, 2009 to 2014, the wealthiest 1%, because Obama is going to come in and change everything, right? The wealthiest 1% received what percent of the income gains? Dude, what do you think, Mom? What do you think, bro? What do you think?
I was going to say like C or D.
What's that?
C or D.
C or D? What do you think, bro?
A.
What? A?
C or D.
C or D. Dude, come on, it's your brother, man. You know what I mean? What do you think, bro?
C or D.
Bro.
D.
D. The answer is D. Dude, Obama knows who's paying the bills. Who's paying the bills are rich people. Obama's going to reward rich people. Obama basically turned the entire economy over to banks. And the banks are the ones that got us into the crisis, and the banks are going to get us out. And Obama's no different. Dude, this is the nature of it, right? You get to the top, and you're going to make decisions to keep yourself on top. That's how, even though Obama didn't start on top, he's a guy who's going to act on behalf of the elites, because the elites around the country, y'all right? This is the nature of the game. And so I can be down here at the bottom hoping that, oh, okay, man, I want to get up there someday. And I'm working really hard, and I'm trying to get, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up. But it's really hard. It's not easy to go from here to here. It's a hell of a lot easier to go from here to here, or from here to here, or even to climb a little bit higher. But man, it's not too easy because you're not making the rules. You're not making the rules, man. You got it. It's kind of basic. It's kind of basic. It's things like we need a toxic waste incinerator. Where are we going to put a toxic waste incinerator? In a neighborhood of rich people, or in a neighborhood of poor? In Carter's neighborhood? Dude, are we going to put it in your neighborhood? Can you imagine a toxic waste incinerator that you can see from your back deck? Blowing smoke and toxic waste right over your outdoor patio, so when you and your family are having your gatherings and so on, toxic waste is coming in, the smog. Then it's not going to happen. Where's it going to go? It's going to go to poor neighborhoods. It's all going to happen to poor people. That's the nature of the game. That's how we operate. Okay, cool? So what I demonstrated here with the King of the Mountain idea is by and large how most of society gets transformed. It's like somebody gets on top and someone starts making decisions. They don't make decisions saying like, yeah, I got on top. You know what? I don't really need to be up here. What I'm going to do is it's like Putin in Russia. You know what? I'm going to go, you know what? Y'all like, you need to get, why don't you come and run the ship for a while? Here, come on, you come up. Let your people, go ahead, hop up there. Yeah, you go ahead, man. I'm going to take your place. Yeah, all right. Okay, you're in control now. You make all the decisions. Yeah, it's cool, right? Isn't that cool? Because she needed that, right? Then she deserved that, right? That's not how it works. It's not how it works. I'm not going to give up. And so, do you remember the class we did on slavery when I switched everything and white people got to experience what it would be like to live through black history? And white people, you start to realize, hey, wait, hang on a second. What do you think happened after slavery? You think like white people who were on top, they just all like reached out to all the slaves and oh, brothers and sisters are bad, man. Oh my God. Here, have some land. Oh, here, have some resources. Oh, here, you know what? You know what we're going to do? Dude, oh, shit, sorry, dog. Here, come on, black man. Here, come on up, dude. Yeah, come on up. Here we go. Dude, here we go. Black people. So you all, because we need to what we're going to do is, we're going to make sure, dog, and you'll be next, my man. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that y'all need to be part of making the decisions, man. Damn, because we've been making them for so long. And we God, the way we treated y'all, and look at those slippers you got on, man. You can't even afford shoes. You're wearing slippers. And so what we're going to do, man, we're going to allow you to make decisions about us. Because, we enslaved you for 300 years, and now it's about time you're an equal with us. And we're going to let you make some decisions about what happens to you and what happens to me. Y'all right? Because that's what happened in the U.S. Isn't that what happened after slavery? No. It didn't happen, man. Dude, hop back down for a sec. What happened was that not only after slavery, he's dangerous. So he's really dangerous. So what we're going to do is actually go like, dude, no, actually, you're going to go over here. Right? Okay, that's better. Okay, there we go. Because now he's really dangerous. Before, I had him in chains. Now he's not in chains. I got to really do that. And first off, man, dude, you just stay right there. You back up a little bit. I'm going to make sure, okay, that's cool. And you don't get too close, my man. All right? Okay, got it? So this is how we operate. And all you got to do is look at history in the U.S. and this is what you see. But most Americans don't read history. They don't study history. They don't look at it. They're not interested in it. And so they think that somehow it all changes all the time and everyone's just equal and we all have an equal shot of getting up here. But we don't have an equal shot of getting up here because, come back here, come around the table real fast. Do it again. That all the while going around here, Carter and I, not a guarantee, but Carter and I, we're already like this. We're walking. We're already halfway up here. Shit. You know what I mean? Like we're already going. We're already ready to jump up. And there's a difference there. It's kind of simple. Okay, so here, we're going to do this real fast. Stay right there. Are y'all getting this, right? You seeing it? First off, understand, I'm not a communist. I'm not saying that skill, intellect, hard work has nothing to do with getting up here. Of course it does. I'm testimony to that. Like I made decisions in my life. I made decisions to develop my intellect, my skill, my thoughts, my whatever it is, in order that I could not get up here, because I'm not up here, but so that I could move closer to it, okay? Not a question about that. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm not looking at individuals. I'm looking at, like your father, you said, like he did what he needs to do, and here he is, and maybe some of your parents. But like, that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at across the board. Okay, bro. So, next slide. And here's what we see. Again, take a look at this. I showed you this the other day. Median family wealth. Something must have happened for these differences to be so great. Right? Something must have happened. Because, dude, Hispanics and black people, they want to make money just as much as anybody else. They want to have power just as much as anybody else. They work just as hard as everybody else. I know, like, we create these ideas that, like, Mexicans, for example, are just are you half Mexican? You're half Mexican, right? You're not? Where are you from? Guatemala? What's your background?
Just a bunch of stuff.
Whole bunch of stuff. But we have this idea, like, for example, Mexicans are, like, hanging down, taking siestas underneath a coconut tree or something, banana tree. I have no idea. Or that black people never work. It's like, yeah, black people are late. These are the stories. We are poor white people, whatever it is. These are stories that people up here have to create, because when you get up here, in order to stay up here, you got to create stories about people, or you're not going to be able to stay up here, and you want to justify it. So you come up with all sorts of things to justify your ability to stay in power. That's just kind of the nature of the game. So we know people working hard. So what can explain this, man? Are black people and Hispanic people so lazy that they just like, yeah, man, that's how much you're worth on average? Like, come on. Next slide. Or we look at this. Median household income by race. This just came out, right? So look at this. Median household income in thousands. Here's white, non-Hispanic, black, non-Hispanic, household income, right? Here's Asian non-Hispanic. And once again, part of the reason that's high is because of immigration, and immigration by professionals. Hispanics, Native American, Indian, Native American, Alaskan Native. Look at that. What's the difference here? What's going on? Right? What's the difference? Next slide. Even if we take the wealthiest 10% of Americans, white people, black people, Hispanic people, this is dollars, right? Median wealth in dollars, okay? So look, total wealth. So like, wow, man, even among the richest white people, they still have so much more wealth than the richest black people and richest Hispanic people. You see that? You get that? You see how that is? So it doesn't matter. Wherever you want to go, we just have these deep differences, okay?
What about the Jews?
Jews fall just on average with white people. Jews are very much like Asians in the sense of high number of professionals, right? High number of wealthy people, high number of poor people. Same thing. It's very much like Asians. I'm going to talk about Jews, by the way, in a couple of weeks. All right, so here. And here's what goes on, my friends. It's like if I take... Dude. Let me have your phone. Can I have your phone? So if I take his phone, let's say I give it to, what's your name, bro?
Maurice.
Maurice? I give it to Maurice, right? Don't run out the door with it, bro. We got you on camera, man. He's like, yeah, I'm not even in this class. Hell yeah, I'm out of here. So listen, man. So I give it to Maurice, bro. What's your name again? Spage. So you got Spage's phone. So Spage knows it's his phone. You know it's Spage's phone, but let's say I didn't give it to you. I gave it to you, right? It's cool. It's yours now, dude. It's all yours. Got it? But you give it to your son, Carter. Dude. Like father, like son. And Spage says, yeah, so I tell my son, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your name, bro? Austin. So I tell my son, Austin, that like, yeah, man, see that dude, Carter? That's my phone, actually. But Carter got it from his old man here, Maurice. So Carter's not thinking like, yeah, this isn't really my phone, because he didn't get it from Spage. He didn't get it from Austin. He didn't get it from anybody else. He got it from his father. Now Carter then takes it, gives it to his, dude, what's your name? Kevin. He gives it to Kevin. Now, by now, there's no theft in the story. It's Kevin's phone. Kevin thinks he deserves the phone because it's his. He got it from his father, who got it from his father. So Kevin's not even going to think anything about this phone. You got it because it's his, right? But then meanwhile, you got like Austin over here. Austin, right? Yeah. What's your name? Nikki. Austin tells his daughter, Nikki, you like Nikki, man. That phone over there, that's our phone, man. That's ours. But he doesn't know anything about that. He doesn't know the story. He doesn't care about the story. And as far as he's concerned, it's his phone. Now, if someone comes along and says, hey, dude, that phone, my man, that's actually a stolen phone. You stole that from somebody else. You used that phone to get really rich, but you got it from your parents who got it from somebody else. You got really wealthy over it. Look at you. You're wearing these nice clothes. You got nice shoes on, nice haircut, the whole 9 yards. You wouldn't have any of that shit if they hadn't stole that phone. And your response would be,
It's my phone.
exactly, dude. It's your phone. I have no idea what you're talking about. Got it? So here, his whole life, big part of his life is based on this phone. And he doesn't even think about it. And that is a lot about what goes on in the United States. A lot of what goes on in the U.S. and in many parts of the world. We don't look backwards. We don't look backwards. And then we think somehow that we're all on an even playing field, right?
Are you sure this is my phone?
Dude, I think it's your phone, man. They might have put... Dude. All right, so you ready? So here's what I want to do. Real fast. Okay, y'all, come over here. We're going to do this thing again. I want to show you this. Are we cool? Are you getting the picture here? All I want you to do is start to understand. We're going to build up to the logic for affirmative action. So, bro, you come back here. Dude, you're going to be back with him. Bro, you're going to come up here, you guys. You come up. And, dude, why don't you, stay here? Why don't you, stay there? Stay right there. And we're going to go here, okay? So, got it? So, here's the starting line again. Now, everybody, wherever you are on the starting line, whether you're here or down here, the idea on the starting line, nonetheless, is that you see it somehow as being equal. Like you're started. This is where you're going to start. And what we have a conversation in the United States. I'm going to go back and forget I said what I just said. We have this conversation in the United States that we watch this starting line assuming that somehow it's equal. Like we all go off to school. I said this the other day. I'm bringing it back home. We all go to school. We all have an equal chance. We all can work hard. We can all do whatever we want to do. And here it is. This is where we're at. Right? We move forward. But I showed you right here with this how, man, some people, Carter and his team up at the top, our team, we did some things to make it much more likely that we would be at the top. And that things happen down here to make it much more likely that they would be at the bottom. And Native Americans are back here. So it's like, why is it and how is it that we continue on this threshold, this idea of thinking that somehow the starting line is equal? And then, so here's the question I have. Ready? Somebody answer this question to me. As we move forward, the likelihood that Carter's kids will stay where he's at is just as great as the likelihood that their kids will stay where they're at. Okay, got it? Because this is kind of how things roll. Not entirely. Some people down here will have kids who will end up there. Some people where Carter's at will end up having kids who will end up down here. Okay? But the question becomes this. As the wheel of time starts to roll along, follow this. You ready? As the wheel of time starts to roll along, this whole class reproduction thing happens. You all hand resources down to your kids. He hands resources down to his kids. They hand resources down to their kids. Meanwhile, they have, on average, going to have fewer resources, right? Because we saw that. But nonetheless, they're going to do the best they can. And they're going to, emphasize the same damn things that everybody else will emphasize. But here's my question. How do you expect them to catch up? Tell me how they're going to catch up. Somebody, anybody. How are they going to catch up, man? How can we create a playing field so that it's equal, that maybe they're not going to catch up, but somehow it's equal? Dude, I'm going to go with him first. Can you pass it down?
I think it can start a little bit more with equal primary school, so everybody from K through 12 gets the same education.
The exact same education.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
so-
just PSSA determining which schools
Okay,
get better
dude.
funding.
So, talk to me up here. I'm on top. I'm like Carter's parents, not just his parents, people above his parents. All of us are up here. Give us that. Give me that. Give the whole population of wealthy people in the United States. Can you give us that?
No, you wouldn't. You probably wouldn't take that.
Nah, I don't think we would, dude.
No. I think it. I mean, in theory, I think it would be a good idea, but I don't think it's possible.
Yeah. Okay. So we wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't we do it?
Because then that would make it. There would be less of a disparity in the education, and there wouldn't be a step ahead for the people that are on top.
Right. Exactly. Because my kid, right, would then be competing with them, right?
Yeah.
With their kids or with them. And I'm like, nah, dude. There's only so much space at the top, y'all, right? There's only in spite of I know what they're teaching, those of you who are economics majors, they're teaching you the economy is not a zero-sum game. But fundamentally it is, because there's only one earth, we're not getting off, we can't all be rich. Eventually, some people will always have more money than other people. So therefore, if they're competing and if they manage, let's go this way, right? If all of their people down here manage up here, that means what's going on now, right? That means this. He's coming down here. Because there's only so many resources to go around. You can only have so many Range Rovers. I know like your family has 3, but you know, every family cannot have 3. If all of their families had 3 Range Rovers also, and all of their families have 3, I mean, at some point it stops. So tell me how we can make this thing fair. Because this is what I get, especially from white people all the time, right? Here, pass it to her. I especially get this from white people all the time. Well, this is unfair. Someone had an unfair advantage. Like, it's usually looking at Nikki, right? Destiny? Yeah. Dude, I was destined to not get that right. All right, so Maurice, right? Dude, Maurice and Destiny. It's like, yeah, but if you give them special privileges, that's not fair. So Penn State has this program for black people and brown people. And they have these scholarships. And they don't offer them to white people. Right? It's like, that's not fair. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Give me something that's fair. How are you going to do that? How are you going to stop it? How are you going to make a system that's more fair? What do you do? How do you do it? Anybody want to kick it out? Like, how do we do that? Yeah, bro, here. Bro.
So you brought up in the beginning of the class, I think affirmative action is like a really great step towards that. I mean, you're creating opportunity for people, with more diverse backgrounds, not just white people. So, yeah.
Okay, so affirmative action is fair. So someone tell me what affirmative action is. What is it? Someone. Go ahead, dude. What do you think it is?
Well,
wait, hang on. First off, can you just partner up with your friend, with whoever's sitting next to you really fast? Can you just explain to each other what affirmative action is? What is it? What do you think it is? Dude, by the way. Yo, who wants to kick it out? What's affirmative action? All right, dog.
Yeah, so affirmative action is just like, it's a soluble solution to an insoluble problem. So
Wait, it's a what?
it's a soluble solution to an insoluble problem. So
Okay.
it's just like, it's a problem that can't really be solved. We can just try and take steps towards redefining it. Because like ultimately it's like, we're talking education here. So you'd have to scrap the whole education system that goes back to public schools in poor like socioeconomic places, kids that aren't receiving that education, that funding, and then it's like, at the end of the day, you said there are X amount of resources to go around, so now we have to look at privatizing education.
All right, okay. All right, that's cool. All right, there's the starts. Somebody else? Who else wants to kick it out? Anybody? What do you think? Dude, the idea is, how do you break the cycle? Right? How do you break the cycle? Like, how do you make it different? How do you break it? Right? Like, you don't, first off, you got to understand, people on top, you don't, if you really think that, like, yeah, people need to have a fair chance, it's not fair, people on the bottom, they should have an equal chance, they should have a fair chance, they should, yeah, you got that? When you say that, they're going to be competing with you. They're going to be competing on a level playing field with you, with your kids. And it doesn't matter if it's poor white people, right? Or poor white people, or poor black and brown people. It doesn't really matter. The point is, if you want to have a system that's more equitable, then it means that everyone's going to get to compete with one another. So, dude, go. So, hang on. Following from what he just said, here's affirmative action. You take some kind of action, a concrete, deliberate action that somehow is designed to take people who are down here or who are here and not up here, wherever it is, but down here, some action that is designed that will give them a couple steps on the ladder to make it more reasonable, more likely that they can compete on a fairer playing field with people who are up here. So maybe it's like refugees come into the United States. And like a form of affirmative action with refugees, we don't do much for refugees here, trust me. But one thing is, we'll often provide housing or a certain amount of benefits for a very limited amount of time. And basically what we're saying is, listen, you're coming here, you have nothing. We don't want people to have nothing, because we don't want people in our society who have absolutely no resources. We want people who can take care of themselves. And so what we're going to do is, since we're bringing you in, we're going to give you the resources we think you need to at least get you here to have some kind of firm footing, and it's up to you to go the rest of the way. So you can either go backwards, you can stay where you're at, or you can move forward. And that is taking some kind of action in the affirmative. Okay, you got it? In some kind of way. That's affirmative action. I don't know how else to do it. But what I hear from white people, go to the next slide, bro. I wrote this, but I'm like, I don't know why I wrote that. Let me just kick this out to you. It's like here. For Asians, East Asians in the United States, and South Asians, by the way, in the U.S., people of Asian ancestry living in the United States who take the SAT exam, to be seen as equal by a college admissions boards at the more elite schools, to be seen as equal to white people, okay? To be seen as white people. So listen, man. Here, I'm going to have to do this. Dude, can you stand up real fast? Dude, stand up real fast. You too. Okay? Average Asian. They both take the SAT. For him to compete with him, okay, at the more elite schools, he has to score 100 points higher on average on his SAT exam than he does. Because in the United States, we've come to this place where at the elite institutions, there are too many Asians. And like people that look like him, it's like it's cool. And we want a fair and equitable system, but what's going on is there are too many Asians who are coming in, doing really well on these exams, and taking all these spots from everybody else. And so listen, we don't even have enough space for white people. So in order for you to compete with him at the more equitable schools, you got to score 100 points higher on your SATs. This is how it is. This is affirmative action for white people. Like, you didn't know that, right? So, okay, you didn't know that all these Asian people who you see as in your classes, this isn't so true, and this isn't really true here at Penn State because we're not one of the more elite schools, Carter, in spite of fact, I know that the cheering team thinks that we are, but we're really not, all right? And so, we're not one of the more elite schools, but if we were, there's no white person who thinks like, oh yeah, I got affirmative action in here because, you know, all these Asians had to score so much higher than I did. And it's happening all the time. There are all sorts of ways in which we have affirmative action. I got another one. Here, have a seat. Dude, can you come back up real fast? Since you both have hoodies on. Dude, just put your hoodie on, put your hoodie up. Okay, so here's the deal. So, it's Mike, right? So listen, man, Maurice and Mike here. Well, here's another bit of affirmative action. Maurice, in order to have the same life chances as Mike, he has to have a squeaky clean record with regard to the police, with regard to all legal systems. And that is not easy to do for a black man in the United States. And not because black men commit more crime, although they do, by the way. Not by a lot, just by a little bit, okay? Just by a little bit. Just enough that is really largely explained by class differences, right? Not because black people commit more crime. Because somehow, man, dude, in spite of the hoodie, in spite of like in spite of everything, it's like, we're looking at black guys more. Just looking at black. Here, let me show you something. Go to the next slide, bro. This just came out. So this is the sons. So here's what you have. Black men. This is household income of parents. This is really complex, but I'm going to show it to you. This is household income of parents. So these are the richest 10% of black families and white families, and the poorest 10% of black families and white families. Okay? And this is black men who have been incarcerated or have a chance of being incarcerated, okay? So the poorest black men, you have like almost like a 1 in, it really, at the poorest levels, you have like a 1 in 4 chance of being incarcerated. At the wealthiest levels, you have like a 2% chance of being incarcerated. But look at white men here. So white men, the sons of black families from the top 1%. So dude, if Maurice's family's in the top 1%, he has an equal chance of a white guy of being incarcerated as a white person from families making $36,000 a year. So in other words, dude, for Maurice to stay away from the police, he has to have a squeaky clean record. He has to be, everywhere he goes, he has to be careful. Everything he does, he has to be careful. Mike and I, we can go out. In state college, it's a little bit different because police don't like anybody. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're a student, they'll go after you. It's not about race. But around what we see again and again by the data that we keep showing again and again and again, Mike and I, somehow we're magically just getting off. We're doing the same stuff. We're just as likely to use drugs as Maurice is. We're just as likely to sell drugs as Maurice is. We're just as likely to commit most petty crimes as Maurice. But somehow, we're not getting busted. Like, he has to be rich. He has to be separated. He has to have so many things in order to have the same chances as us. That's affirmative action, man. Dude, every white man benefits from that affirmative action. That's like the system itself. People have collectively agreed that they will be like, yeah, we don't do it consciously, but we do it non-consciously, and the whole system itself is oriented toward us. Dude, did I tell the story about when I got busted when I was a kid, and like drinking and smoking, and the cops just had us follow him home? Like, that's just like, okay, that's an extreme example, but I can show you data upon data. So that's affirmative action. All right, thanks, man. Thanks, y'all. All right, you got it? The problem is when you're up here, you don't see it as affirmative action. Because when I'm up here, like I'm working really hard, y'all. Like I pull in 50 and 60 hour weeks. I'm going to attribute everything I do to my hard work. I really do work 50 and 60 hour weeks. And so like, and I always have. And so I'm just like thinking, yeah, well, I'm here because of my hard work. I never imagine any of the benefits that I got, like from my skin color or the fact that I'm a man. Dude, I can only teach this. Dude, if I was a woman, I could never teach this class the way I do. Because y'all would come at, especially the men, but also the women, you would come at me so hard. Stuff that I say, how can you say that? What right do you have to say that? The stories I hear from my female colleagues, not just here at Penn State, from all across the country, the ways they get challenged by students, the stories I hear, it's astounding to me, and how rarely I really get challenged with things that I do. And so part of the reason I can do this class and I can be successful as I am, however successful that is because I'm a man. And definitely because I'm white. Definitely. Dude, if I gave today's lecture as a black man, if Maurice and I just switched bodies and I gave today's class just as a black man, y'all like, man, come on. You just would be like, nah, I'm not buying this. This is black people trying to make excuses for the fact that they're on the bottom. Yeah. Work harder. Dude, let me show you something else real fast. Hang on, I think I want to show you something else. Yo, all right, go to the next one. Here, you want to know what makes this real? Black and brown people. You want to know why this stuff is really hard for white people to hear in particular? Because look at this right here, the fading American dream, y'all, right? The year in which the percent of children earning more than their parents, okay? So look, it used to be over 90%, going back in during World War II, okay? Children born during World War II, over 90% made more than their parents. And look at this. So I was born in 1960. So it's about just a little over 60%. But now look at it today. We're going down to 50%. And this thing is continuing to drop. So more and more children, including more and more white children, are not doing better than their parents. And the idea is that the cause of that are all the programs aimed toward black people and brown people, and all the ways in which we're uplifting black people and brown people, and we're not doing anything for us. And this is just like, comes from not knowing. It's just like Donald Trump, this very simple thing. We're going to bring jobs back to America. We're going to force everyone to start making things in America. And then you look at like Colbert, they'll like pull out all this Trump gear. All this stuff that Trump makes, and every damn thing is made in China. And so you show that. It's like, look, here's the shirt, Trump shirt, made in China. Trump pants, Trump underwear. Look, made in China. It's like, here it is. Everything's made. And yet the American people are just like, yeah, right. Donald Trump, yeah, going to bring shit back to America. Yeah. No, he's not. No, he's not. That's an old story. It's not the story. Barack Obama didn't do it, and Trump's not going to do it. And this thing here is just going to keep going down. At some point, it's going to level off. And so now, black people and brown people, you want to try to convince white people that the system is unfair when this is what white people are seeing. You ready? They're seeing that, yeah, well, we used to be up here, and it just seems like we just keep going down slowly. It's like, wait, hang on. What are you saying to me? It's unfair? Wait, people at the bottom. What? It's not fair? I can't really hear you because of the sound of my feet dragging along the floor as I'm going downward. See how that is? We're going down. And so now we're going to try to convince white people that somehow, like, the system's not fair. You're not going to convince me because I'm not like building up. Dude, That right there, that's why Donald Trump is in power. Why would Americans who have nothing, Donald Trump's base is people who aren't making more than their parents. And how would you possibly vote for this after we saw that Obama couldn't do it? Here's a guy who actually even tried to do it and he couldn't because the system was just steamrolling over him, and then he just bowed down to it because that's what Democrats do. The Clintons certainly didn't do it, and they weren't going to do it, and Bush didn't do it. And now you get this guy that he doesn't not only stand a chance in hell of doing it, he's not going to do it. It's not his philosophy. He doesn't care. His whole world is about being rich. He hasn't done a damn thing to help poor people, I don't think, ever. And you got all these poor people voting for this guy, and that's the conundrum that we're in. Bernie Sanders is the only answer. And Americans are just like, Bernie who? The fuck, right? Dude, hang on. And he's not the answer, and I did not vote for Bernie Sanders. And I would not vote for Bernie Sanders because he's a Democrat. So it's all good, but I'm just saying, like, how come Bernie Sanders isn't president? He's not president because Americans, because we don't pay attention. We just don't pay attention. So black and brown people understand, just like you don't study history, just like you don't know what the past was, nor do white people. And when you look at this downward spiral right here, coming down, I can't blame anybody, man. Dude, you got it? Like, all right. One final thing. Oh, next slide. Dude, hold tight. Get ready. All right. Discrimination against white people has become as big of a problem as discrimination against black. Hey, by the way, can you darken the screen real fast? Just go back to that. Go back to that slide, darken. Listen, real fast. Trump supporters, you need to understand something. I've never voted for a Democrat. And once I voted for a Republican, but he was a friend of mine. So I had to. Not true. I once voted for a Democrat who was a friend of mine too. Okay, one Democrat, one Republican. If you feel like sometimes I'm attacking Trump, it's because I am. But if you had been in my class under the 8 years of Obama, you would have heard me going after Obama for 8 years. And the 8 years of Bush before that, you would have heard me going after Bush. And the 8 years of Clinton before that, you would have heard me going after Clinton. So this isn't about your man Trump. It is about your man Trump. Just like it was about Obama for 8 years. So it's like, don't think that like, oh yeah, Sam's like unfairly going after Trump. Are you kidding me? Please, that guy, he's such low-hanging fruit. Jesus. It's almost pathetic. But Obama was pretty, black people who are like all Obama, yeah, Obama. Dude, do you know anything about Obama? His policies? You wouldn't be like, yeah, Obama, if you actually knew. All right, but go ahead. Discrimination against, it's not just black people, it's white people do, but for some reason black people, like with this Obama shit, is like, okay, discrimination against white people has become as big of a problem as discrimination against black people and other racial or ethnic minorities. Percentage of white, dude, can you like, seriously? Like, seriously, white people, right? 52% of all whites are like, yeah, it's a bigger problem. Yeah, all that discrimination against us. Yeah, we're the victims here. It's like, please, seriously? 76% of people, look at Republicans versus Democrats, at least people with a college degree have a little bit of a kind of they've maybe thought about it a little bit. Dude, you know what that is? That's white people who absolutely have no willingness to in any way examine any of the issues. Because what I just said about Maurice and the police, that the fact that the vast majority of people in prison for drug crimes are black and white people are just as likely, and we are way more in numbers than black people to use drugs and sell drugs and so on and so forth. It's like, what affirmative act? Dude, life is good. Shit, life is good. Okay, so hang on. Are we cool there? We got it? Dude, Do you have a cheer for us? Huh?
A cheer?
Yeah, do you like do flips or anything?
Yeah, I can flip.
Can you do a flip?
Yeah.
Are you on the cheer team too, bro? Can you do a flip? Wait,
Yeah.
what's that? You do a flip? Can you do a flip too, bro? Let's see who does the better flip, dude. Hang on. Wait. Shit. All right. All right, hang on. Yo, don't leave yet. Yo, hang on. So you can do a flip, dog? Yep. All right, man. What's your name? Ben. Ben. Oh, yeah, Ben. I knew that. All right, hang on. All right, here we go. We're going to see who does the better flip. Is this a front flip or a back flip? Back? We're gonna go backwards? Yeah. Back flip? Don't hurt yourselves. Or can you flip from off here, dude? I could. All right. All right, man. Who's gonna go first? Wait, aren't you gonna warm up or anything? You guys are standing around like really nonchalant shit. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna do a flip here. Just hold tight. I'm gonna do a flip.
So one of us will go to time. What's that? He said he wants to get pictures, so one of us will go to time. Oh, okay.
All right, bro, you're on. Ben, officially you are the challenger because he is on the cheer team. So, I'm just saying, dog. Well, you got to do it sideways, though. Yeah, so the cut. Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, no, I want you to come back here and get a shot from this way. Yeah, you got to go sideways. All right. So you get the class in the background. All right, dude. If you paralyze yourself or anything, I got your back. I'll take it. We'll do a GoFundMe. All right. Dude. Yo. Are there any gymnasts in the class? Anyone a gymnast, by the way? Damn. All right. I think he nailed the landing right there. Y'all all right? All right, dude. Dude, the whole Penn State cheer squad is on your shoulders right now. Oh, dude. Yeah, all right. Can you do a running flip? All right, hang on. Yo. Oh, shit, dog. Dude. Oh, here we go. Hey. Damn. Oh, no. Yo, hang on. I want to do this shit. All right, hang on. All right. No, hey, listen. Wait, we have one final thing we got to do. Yo, who sings? Who sings like really, really well? Who sings? Yo, dog. I need someone who sings. Really fast. Yo. Does she sing? Do you seriously sing? Yo, come down. Yo. Yo, Lauren, come down. We're just like warming up for the quiz. All right, man. What's your name? What's your name?
Alexis.
Alexis?
Yes.
Okay, you gotta really let it out. Let it really roll.
It wasn't hard.
Yeah, you ready? Yo, so Lauren, in case if you didn't have your emails responded to quickly in the past few days, it's because Lauren turned 21. So, yo, 21, dog. And you went to the bars already? Don't say it. No, you didn't. All right. Can you come over here? You gotta sing "Happy Birthday" to Lauren, your sister. There you are.
I'm never saying happy birthday.
Seriously, find the key. It's going to really work for you.
She said I have to stand on the other side for, better video.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Find the right key, dog.
I've never sang happy birthday before, guys, so bear with me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lauren. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Thanks, dog. Thanks, dog. Okay, listen. Lauren, what do you want to say to them about studying?
Make sure y'all study, and that's about it.
All right, y'all. See ya. Yo, gentlemen. Nice.